Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a review of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 5, Episode 1. So I've been a long-time watcher of the Potomac Housewives ever since day one, so I'm very familiar with the whole entire background of the dynamics of the relationships, etc. This is my first review of Real Housewives of Potomac since we started a new season. I'm 2 episodes behind, but I'm going to try to catch up and I'm going to try to stay caught up. So here we go. Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 5, Episode 1, Testament to New Revelations. So we have a dramatic beginning, as we do in all of these housewife shows, where they show you the juiciest part of the season to kind of whet your appetite a little bit, to kind of give you a taste of what's to come. So we all know, we've all read the blogs and the articles about the big blow up between Monique and Candace. So we got a little taste of that, to get us really excited about the season. And it was pretty bad. It was like an all-out brawl between Candace and Monique. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's see what built up to that. We begin with Monique is in the kitchen with her husband and her kids, I think. No, were her kids there? I think it was just her husband, and her baby, Chase. And she got a bird. So this whole scene with her and the bird and everything. And then she goes off to go see Karen. And Karen lives literally 3 minutes away. So she goes off to see Karen with her bird, which she says is also an emotional support pet. I think she also said her bird was for her. Now, Karen's house, her new house, her brand new house, her and Ray finally moved in. It's nice, but it's very Karen and Ray. It definitely has the feeling of older people are living there or residing there, because it's a nice sized home, but it's really sort of blah, with the color scheme, which I think was like all cream or cream and white or whatever. She did upgrade her appliances. Instead of white, she does have the chrome appliances. It's a nice house. So Monique and Karen are sitting there talking, and surprisingly, because Karen is pretty much like, she has to keep up a certain front of her and her marriage. So she always, she never goes too deep into really what's going on with her life, other than when her parents were sick and they passed away. But she opens up with Monique about the problems that she's been having with her marriage with Ray. There's something going on there. We don't know yet, but there is definitely some type of disconnect between her and Ray, and she actually talked about it. She mentioned that whenever she goes to her business events, Ray doesn't even come along. Now, Ray is in his 70s, I think, and Karen is in her 50s, and Ray, I think, has retired. So I'm like, why wouldn't he come along? He's retired. So we'll see more about that as the season progresses. Then we go to Giselle. So Giselle has moved into her home. And so there's a lot of boxes and stuff that needs to be arranged and stuff that needs to be unboxed. And so I really didn't get a good look at what her home was like. But I think it was a nice home. So she's there with her girls, her 3 daughters, and her and Mr. Jamal Bryant we've seen this also coming up in the blogs and stuff, that her and Jamal Bryant have reconciled, I guess, or trying to reconcile. And so her girls are not too thrilled about it. They say that they feel like they're the 5th wheel, because there's 3 of them and 2 of the parents and 3 of the kids. So they feel like they're the 5th wheel to their parents' relationship, which is really odd that they would say that. Now, children of divorced parents, of course, we've all heard that they would love to have their parents reconcile and get back together again, for the most part. Of course, if it was a really tumultuous type of marriage, the children don't want to see that again. But most of the time, kids of divorced parents, kind of dream about the day mom and dad will get back together, put their family back whole again. But with her girls, because they've never known Jamal and Bryant as a unit, they've always been 2 separate entities as far back as they can remember, because Jamal and Giselle divorced early on. they don't have any kind of reference or any kind of memories of mom and dad together. So they don't understand that dynamic, and they're not comfortable with that dynamic. They actually kind of prefer for them to be apart and deal with dad when it's dad's time and deal with mom when it's mom's time, and not the two of them together. Now, the disturbing thing is that one of the girls said, and the camera picked this up, that one of the girls said that they think they call their parents' relationship fake. That was, and children are very insightful. They're very, very insightful. So I'm hoping that they're misreading their parents' relationship and that it's not fake, because it'd be really sad and pathetic to put your children through this for whatever reason if it's less than being genuine. So I did catch that. One of the girls said that she sees her parents' relationship as fake. And they think that their dad only communicates with them or engages with them just to make their mom happy. Like, to get in the good graces of Giselle, he's going to try to deal with the kids. Like the kids are just a tool that he's using to get back with Giselle. All of this is extremely disturbing and disappointing. So I'm kind of hoping that they're reading this wrong, but I kind of think they're not. Now, in her confessional, I think the producers asked her something about, her and Jamal getting back together. And Giselle seemed really defensive about it. Like, I don't know if she's tired of fighting the blogs and the gossip about defending her relationship with Jamal or what, but she seems a little bit defensive whenever she talks about her relationship with Jamal. Then we move on to Candace. Now, I am not and have never been, and I don't see myself being, a fan of Candace. Out of all the Potomac Housewives, and probably out of all the Housewives, period, on the whole entire franchise, not the franchise, but the whole entire Housewives thing, Candace is probably my least favorite housewife or character or whatever you want to call her. I don't enjoy her. Her scenes make me uncomfortable to watch because I feel my blood pressure rising. I just don't like her. She completely rubs me the wrong way. How she treated Ashley last season was, to me, borderline criminal. How she treated Ashley, the way she kept on bringing up the whole thing with Ashley's husband and her husband being bisexual and unfaithful, constantly bringing it up, doubting her desires to be a mom. To me, Candace fights extremely dirty and she gets extremely personal. And she calls herself the queen of dragging or the queen of reading or whatever. She is the queen of hitting below the belt. When Candace fights, she fights for blood. It's nothing cute about it. It's nothing fun about it. I don't call it reading. I don't call it dragging. I don't call it throwing shade. What she does, she goes for the jugular. And it's so dirty how she fights. But anyway, so Candace is celebrating her 1-year anniversary to Chris. I like Chris. And I feel bad for Chris. But I like Chris. I really do like Chris. So they're celebrating their 1-year anniversary, and she wants to have a diamond and denim anniversary party. She invites everybody except for Ashley. And at the diamond and denim party is where we meet Wendy, which is the newest Potomac housewife, which is a friend of Candace. So we meet Wendy at the party. We don't get too much of Wendy, but we do, get a glimpse of her and kind of, we're lightly or slightly introduced to Wendy. And so before the party, Giselle and Candace have a meeting where they have a cake testing. I guess she's going to have a cake testing for an anniversary party. And at the cake testing, Giselle and Candace kind of get into it. So we find out that they really are not on good terms because of the fact of whatever Candace said about Giselle's house that she was renovating and whatever Giselle said about Candace trying to find a home. And Candace kind of threw a dig at the fact that, is Candace's mom going to be paying for the house? This is where we find out that Candace is no longer on her mom's her mom is no longer taking care of her or supporting her and her husband financially. Candace claims that her and Chris are completely 100% independent. Let's hope so. Let's get to this party. Like I said, everyone's invited except for Ashley. When everyone starts arriving at the party, Karen is there, of course. And as everyone's greeting Karen, a couple of people, or maybe 3 or 4 people, made a comment about how good she's smelling, which is, I guess, a plug for her La Dame perfume. So I was like, okay, that's cool. That's fine. And then we meet, like I said, we meet Wendy, Candace's friend. And then Candace and Giselle have a one-on-one conversation. Well, not one-on-one, because Robin is with Giselle, as Robin is always with Giselle. Candace and Giselle are having a conversation at the party. They go into, I think they went outside or something, and Giselle mentions that she needs to apologize to Ashley because, Ashley had a baby. Candace didn't even congratulate her. And on the day that she was giving birth to her child, Candace was, sending really horrible, disgusting, nasty tweets about Ashley. And, Candace is not trying to apologize to Ashley. She's not feeling it at all. Charisse is there. So Charisse is invited. It was good to see Charisse again, I guess. I guess it was nice to see Charisse. She left so long ago, but when she left the show, she was going through a really bad divorce with her husband. I do remember that. And I can't remember who she got along with and who she didn't, but evidently she does not get along with Monique. So Monique says that Charisse has been spreading really nasty rumors about her, and she didn't go into much detail in episode 1 of what those rumors were that Charisse was spreading about Monique. But she was not happy to see Charisse there. In fact, she completely bypassed and ignored Charisse at the party. And I don't know if at that time Monique knew that Candace had invited Charisse there, because because Monique and Candace are supposed to be, they kissed and made up. They're supposed to be back to being sisters again. But evidently, this woman is at the party that Monique clearly doesn't like and doesn't get along with. At the end of the party, Candace asks her mom and Karen to give a speech, I guess, to kind of give advice about marriage. And Karen, she said whatever she said about, marriage. She just gave a really general type of speech about marriage, how marriage is hard work, et cetera, et cetera. And, whatever. And then her mom came and made a speech and said something about she was happy that, Candace and Chris were making love, which was an odd thing to say at your daughter's 1-year anniversary. And she also said that, she's got 35 years of marriage under her belt, but those 35 years of marriage is a span of 2 husbands. So, moving on. Ashley and the baby. So, Ashley claims that her and Michael have overcome their issues and their problems, of him dealing with the whole sexual assault lawsuit that was filed by one of the crew members on the set of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Evidently, he had touched this guy on the butt. The guy sued for sexual harassment. I think it was dismissed. And so Ashley claims that her and her husband have gotten over all their issues and they're in a much better place now. Ashley, of course, had the baby. The baby is a complete clone of Michael. Beautiful baby. That baby looks just like Michael. From the front of the face, the profile of the face, that kid looks just like Michael. Now, have you ever heard the old wives' tale that your baby will come out looking like the one who gave you the most grief during your pregnancy? And this is living proof of that, because I know that Michael, took Ashley around the world and back when she was pregnant. So Ashley is a crunchy mom, meaning that she's really into, things being 100% natural and organic and making your own baby food and breastfeeding, and everything has to be, natural and whatever. So she's a crunchy mom, and she's also a very paranoid mom. She doesn't even leave the house. I don't know if she doesn't leave the house because of postpartum or because she's afraid of taking her baby out, or if she's just embarrassed about what happened with her and Michael and she just doesn't want to face anybody. I'm not quite sure, but maybe it's all 3. So she really doesn't leave the house. She's extremely paranoid. She's paranoid of spiders crawling in her baby's ear. She's paranoid about baby getting run over by a car while she's taking a walk with Michael and the baby in the stroller. She's in a but this is very common for first-time moms. You think you're always worried about things happening to your baby. So this is very common for her. I think she's a little bit on the extreme side, but it's understandable. What else is going on with these people? Candace didn't even apologize. Yeah, we talked about that, how Candace didn't apologize, not apologize, but congratulate Ashley on the baby. and Ashley and Monique had a play date. Ashley invited Monique over. Monique brought her baby. I think his name was Chase. And Ashley had mentioned that her and Monique had really bonded over the fact that they have very similar parenting styles, because Monique is also like a crunchy mom too. She's into things being very natural, holistic, organic, and all of that for the baby. So that's our girl, Ashley. So then we go to Robin. So Robin and Juan are having a conversation at their house, and it's about getting a bigger home. They feel like they've outgrown the house that they're living in, and they want to get a bigger home. And also they talk about their relationship. So, Robin is like, she doesn't want to get a home until, they have a commitment, like they get married. And I think Juan says something about, well, he's just waiting to see, how much more the relationship could grow. And of course, Robin is like, no, we're going to get married. I think Robin is tired of Juan just like stringing her along, and she's going to put her foot down. It's like, if you want to get a bigger home, we're going to have to get married. And I have a feeling that, of course, Juan's going to he's going to finally marry her, because how much longer can you drag this out? And how much more can your relationship grow? You have 2 kids together who are practically grown. Y'all been together since day one. Even when y'all divorced, y'all came back together and we're living together in the same home. So how much more can this relationship grow? Y'all been together for 20-something years. I mean, literally together. Before the divorce, after the divorce, y'all have been together as a couple for all these years and raising these kids together. I'm not sure how much more this relationship could grow. So I'm pretty sure they're going to get married. Anyway, so that's episode 1, season 5. I rushed through that because I'm losing a lot of light out here. And I also have to go through episode 2 because I'm going to try to stay on track this time. But thank you for joining me. I hope you come back for Real Housewives of Potomac, episode 2. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.